answer these two questions today.
Right.
So I think Harsha, you can be as frank as possible, because only if you be frank, you will get answers to the questions that you are seeking. Okay.
Right. Right.
So first question, let's try to see that, so if I'm not wrong, AWS has started as a cloud provider in the year 2007, 2008. I'm not sure. I'm exactly between those lines on the statistics wise.
Mhm.
So it's already been around 2 decades since AWS has provision.
Right.
And over the time, in the last 5 6 years, there have been other multiple other cloud providers as well. Like in the last 1 decade, there is Azure, and then very recently there is GCP, and so many other cloud providers coming into the market in terms of DigitalOcean, Alibaba, Oracle Cloud, you name it, and you are having a cloud provider for the same. So my question to you is, why is that everyone wants to learn from AWS? Or in the other, if you want me to just rephrase my statement,
Mhm.
when we talk about cloud, why is that everyone talks about AWS? Why is that AWS is popular?
So, as far as I remember,
Uh-huh.
AWS was the first thing to come into the cloud picture, and they offer too many services where many like the competitors doesn't have, and they have feature for everything. They can enable anything, and consider that is already available in the AWS.
Uh-huh. So, so I think you mentioned 13 years, right? By the way, from where, which place you are from?
Hyderabad.
Oh, absolutely great. That's great. So I think Harsha, then మీరు 13 years నుంచి మీరు పనిచేస్తున్నారు అంటే I'm sure that you also belong to a broadband BSNL generation, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So we all have used BSNL broadband to download movies, to see the net, because for us at that time, internet means BSNL.
Correct.
So BSNL came first, and it's also there today. Why are we not using BSNL in that case?
So the upgradation part, wherein they were lagging with the speed or
Yeah.
the service that is getting provided, or the support they are kind of giving or the options they give, not as fast as what we have with ACT or Airtel or something like that
Mhm.
now. Right.
So I think after BSNL, everyone would have moved to
Right.
Or Hathaway,
Correct.
and then people would have moved to Geo Fiber or Airtel Fiber.
Correct.
I'm sure from BSNL to something else, you have taken so many examples, but I'm sure those examples will diminish when people ask you why from Geo Fiber from Act.
Right.
Okay. And then so anyhow, the reason why I'm asking about all these things is,
Mhm.
people are so reactive. Okay. And let me ask you one more question, like, what is the first mobile SIM card you might be using? I'm sure if you're also from 1990s, a millennial kid, we all started a journey from Docomo.
My first
It's
was
not
one.
Docomo.
No. It was Vodafone actually.
Acha, Vodafone. Okay.
Right, right.
But
They were just entering Indian market then, and
yeah.
so
Okay, so
I
you're
went.
not aware of that CDMA phones,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I was aware of that because
you're aware of it, yeah?
right, right.
Yeah.
Reliance was the first one to bring the CDMA
Yes,
technology,
yes,
and
yes, yes, yes,
we were
yes.
just crazy about that. And then
Yeah, yeah. So then we moved to Java-based phones, then to Android-based phones,
right,
now to
correct,
smartphones.
correct.
So I think, see, over the time, Harsha, so what I'm trying to say is,
Hmm.
it's not like there is one person who has started at the end will always stay alive till till the end,
Right, right,
because there will be so many providers, so many options for the consumers. Okay.
correct.
So, okay, you can tell me, no, no, Surya, AWS was kept on innovating. Yeah,
Hmm.
they are. But when you have, see, today, BSNL is still existing. Do you think no one is using BSNL? There is enough number of people who are still subscribing to BSNL,
Correct.
right? So, my
Hmm.
whole option is, why is that AWS is still leading from 2 decades?
Right.
It was having 35% market share. Why it is having 35% of market share still? Because there will be different people, different options. Other providers are also not like small organizations, right?
Right.
So BSNL is still okay, is a government based, but here we are talking about AWS, which is not having the any platform on its own. What
Correct.
does AWS have on its own? Only Amazon, right?
Right.
Only Amazon website reads an e-com market.
Hmm.
How big is an e-com market? It's a very small market, right? But imagine the business of YouTube. Imagine the business of Microsoft, Windows. How big markets are there?
Mhm.
How much money they have got? And AWS is competing from Azure and Google Cloud. Google Cloud being one of the largest data platform in the entire world. I don't know. Even they also don't know how much data they consume for every second. And Microsoft, who sells their Windows to most of the companies in the world, and they have AI, open AI, and all that stuff, partnerships and all going on, Xboxes, this, that, and all. And so they have so much of money.
Yeah.
And why is that both of those people not able to beat Amazon or AWS from the last 2 decades? Okay. So, anyhow, so when I'm asking this question, I want you to
Right.
know that it is not just a first mover advantage that is keeping AWS in the trend for the last 2 decades.
Mhm.
Okay, so they must be doing something else. So just like how I asked you when why you moved from BSNL to something else, you
Right.
listed out certain reasons. You did not say, ah, no, Surya, BSNL came first, so then so many options have come, I just moved randomly. You mentioned logical reasons because you experienced that.
Correct.
Here, why AWS? Because people might not be because they really don't. Some of the people might not know actually what
Mhm.
AWS is doing. It's not like other people are doing wrong, right? That's what I'm saying. They're not small organizations these people are competing with. Okay.
Right.
Now you take see in your smartphone, you might be having certain apps.
Mhm.
Amazon Prime Video, it's on AWS. Amazon definitely will be on AWS. YouTube, okay, will be there on GCP, but you have Netflix on AWS, Geo Hotstar on AWS. Most of the Vault, any Vault you must be using, it's on also on AWS. Any backup things that you might be using might be on AWS.
Mhm.
So most of the very premium applications that we use will generally be on AWS. Anything that is related to speed will be on AWS. None of the streaming applications are on any of the other cloud provider actually.
Mhm.
All the streaming applications, like streaming in the sense streaming movies and stuff,
Right.
they all are on AWS, right? So surely AWS has something which
Mhm.
others has not. Okay. And now I want you to today to go back after the small demo session. So it's demo session, it's not always about judging one or the other. It's
Right.
ultimately what matters is what you took out of the knowledge at the end of the day.
Correct.
So I want you to be very clear in future, whomever you want to answer that. So let me go to AWS infrastructure map. Yeah. So I think when we talk about this regions, yeah, when we talk, okay, 1 second. Yeah. So when we talk about region and availability zone, Harsha, what's the meaning is availability zone is nothing but the region in which your data center is there.
Correct.
Okay, that is what availability zone means. Okay, so your Hyderabad is there, right? Hyderabad is one availability zone.
Right.
Okay, and there could be multiple data centers in availability zone also. In Hyderabad, for AWS in Hyderabad, there are two data centers actually.
Mhm.
Okay, so one zone can contain multiple data centers. So it's not like there are 123 zones, so there is only 123 data centers.
Right.
And one data center can be part of multiple zones also.
Mhm.
Okay, so zone is actually the area where your data center is. Region is nothing but it's a geographical area that is encompassing multiple zones. So Hyderabad and Vizag, let's say both of the areas there is a data center. It can be called something like India, I don't know, east or west, or I don't know, coastal central, I guess, I don't know. So it might be called something around that. So India can be one region in which there are data centers in Bangalore, data centers in Mumbai, data centers in Delhi, data centers in Hyderabad, data centers in somewhere else.
Mhm.
Okay, India is a region. Okay,
Right.
so for every cloud provider, the region of maps will generally change. Okay, because see, in some companies call region as West and Asia. Some people say Middle East, some people say Central, some people say North America, some people will say South America. So it's about how they want to differentiate their regions. Okay,
Mhm.
so regions can be multiple and in a different geographical stretch. Okay, yeah. So for now, region is nothing but it's a area that is encompassing multiple zones. So In Asia, India can be one region. Asia Pacific can be one region. China can be another region. Japan can be another region. Okay.
Mhm.
So I hope the understanding what's the region, what's the zone is clear.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So here in the world map, it will tell you in every, see, these are the different regions.
Mhm.
Similarly, in Asia Pacific, you see, yeah, see, Asia Pacific, Hyderabad, there is three zones.
Mhm.
Jakarta is one region. Malaysia is another region. There are three
Right.
data, I mean, three zones.
Correct.
Mumbai is another region. Like that, so many regions will be there. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how many regions it has? 39. Zones, 123.
Correct.
Similarly, let's go to GCP. Yeah. How many zones, Harsha?
130.
130 zones and sorry, 130 zones and 43
Three
regions.
regions. Right.
How many these are having?
39 and
43
123.
regions. This is 39. That is
Right.
130. This is 123. Azure
Right.
also will be something in similar. Okay.
Correct. Mhm.
So now you tell me in that case, then if GCP already has more zones and regions, Azure
Mhm.
has more zones and regions,
Mhm.
then GCP and Azure would have should have passed AWS long time back.
Correct.
If it's like if cloud is all about creating data centers and regions,
Mhm.
it would have crossed long back.
Correct.
So what is stopping them? What is stopping them is you see here there is something called as edge locations, edge
Mhm.
caches.
Right.
How many are there here?
750 plus.
How many are there here?
Okay. 200.
200. So Azure also it will be like 190, something like that.
Uh-huh.
So what are these edge locations? So what are these edge locations means? So edge locations are like, see, so I think if you see the, any Python node, anytime you worked on them.
No. No.
Okay. So these are, so there will be, see, I think I'll tell you a very simple example. So let's say if a movie is uploaded on in America, okay,
Mhm.
somewhere in US, the movie has uploaded. Okay. So now you from Hyderabad is watching that movie from Netflix. Okay. Now on in which data center the movie got uploaded in America. Now where is the user accessing from India? How much is the data path they have to travel? The video byte has to travel. So again, going back to our BSNL era,
Mhm.
any YouTube video we used to play, it used to play directly, or we used to wait for that to buffer and then play.
Buffer and play.
Yeah, because at that time that caching was not available.
Correct.
Okay, so now what's happening? Yeah, the video. It's not like every region the video has to manually upload it, right?
Correct.
That cannot happen. That's very difficult to scale. So in America, if there is a video uploaded, if Harsha is accessing from the Hyderabad for the first time, then the video should be cached somewhere near Asia,
Mhm.
so that any other people reaching out to Asia to the same video should not go to America and download the video. Should go
Correct.
to the nearest edge location where the video is cached and they can access the video from there
Mhm.
with a very less latency. You understand latency, right?
Right.
Latency means the time in which you take the to take the download or view the file over the internet.
Correct.
In Netflix in Prime, have you ever seen loading symbol? Unless your bandwidth, your network bandwidth is not there, will
Right.
you ever see loading symbol in
No.
playing the
No.
video and all?
No.
Why? Because things are cached at different intervals. From America to India, at least in 4 or 5 places, it will be cached. For
Mhm.
subsequent users who are accessing it, will not go and access from the data center directly. It will go and access from the these edge locations.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is why AWS is speed. So when we say AWS is speed, how it is speed? This is the reason it is speed. It is fast. Okay, so these edge locations are nothing but these are, you can call this as macro data centers. That
Mhm.
means these will not have that much of compute and all those things, the cooling systems, a big security things and all will not be there. It is as much as like 2 BHK apartment. In a
Mhm.
small 2 BHK apartment, all they have to do is have some kind of an hardware, because their only job is to cache the images, to cache the videos.
Mhm.
Okay, it only does the caching, nothing else. Okay, so AWS has very, see, you buy with money, you can always establish zones and regions, not a big deal. So GCP and Azure has a lot of money there, that's why they always overpowered it.
Right.
But how you are capturing these edge locations, how you are creating these edge locations is very, very strategic.
Mhm.
Okay, you heard about news in about GCP, right? I mean, Google establishing data center in Vizag.
Right.
It's easy. You go to the government and say, boss, I'm investing $1 million. They will give the site. But now
Correct.
you say, boss, I need a 2 BHK apartment in order to create an edge location that should connect this data center and a data center in Hyderabad. That
Mhm.
gets very critical.
Correct.
It's not a cup of tea of GCP to solve that, or any other cloud provider to solve that. So AWS has solved that across multiple places in the across the world. They were able
Mhm.
to create 750 edge locations, because this placement of this edge locations should be strategic between the data centers.
Oh, okay.
That is when the data will be cached. So that is what AWS has spent so much of time,
Mhm.
which is what Azure and GCP were not able to replicate at that level. Okay,
Mhm.
so if anyone says why AWS is speed, AWS is fast, this is the reason. Why Hotstar moved to AWS? Because of these edge locations. Why Netflix moved to AWS? Because of these edge locations. Okay, because when the
Okay.
users accessing from certain region, they should not always go to their data center where the video is actually uploaded and downloaded. In that case, it takes so much of time. If
Right.
video is uploaded in India, people from other parts of the world will take so much of time. If video is uploaded in somewhere in Europe, people from India and US and other parts will take so much time to load.
Right.
So how to solve that issue? To create these edge locations.
Mhm.
So they created edge locations between data centers across the world to make sure that the video will be cached, and users accessing from same geographical location will access from the nearest cache location instead of going to the data center all along.
Mhm.
Okay, I hope it's clear. Question number one.
Right. Yes. Yes. It's very clear.
Have any other doubts or any concerns or any
No, no.
things that you're
I'm
not
very
clear?
clear with that. Yep.
Okay. So the next question is why AWS and DevOps on AWS. I'm assuming you already know DevOps, right? What's at least in an aspect of DevOps, it's solving a problem between developer and operations.
Correct.
So how a package from development, how it can go to a process of deployment, every step automated in between. So
Mhm.
that's majorly the problem DevOps is solving. Okay.
Correct.
Anyhow, when we discuss in the course, we'll go too deep into that.
Okay.
But the question which I'm trying to ask you is why you are looking for learning DevOps on AWS? Why don't you already have some understanding of Jenkins? Why is that you don't want to learn it on Jenkins?
Mhm. So the main part is like when I research the market kind of thing, Surya, it's mostly my bigger picture is like I wanted to move into this AWS DevOps, then AIOps, and then MLOps. But wherein the others too have that features, but the primary one is always the AWS for me actually.
See, I'll tell you. In Jenkins,
Mhm.
Jenkins is free, open source, and powerful.
Right.
Okay. But the problem is it is completely manual.
Right.
Manual means what? See, you told no, the customer sets up the entire platform and stuff. So
Right.
why? Because you have to set up Jenkins on your server. For that, Jenkins is free,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean that the usage of the software is free. You have to deploy that software in the virtual machine or some hardware that will cost you money.
Oh.
Okay, so deploying Jenkins is manual, costly, and also it will give you an overhead of maintenance.
Mhm.
Okay, so what is the option to it? Because see, the problem is not Jenkins. Let's say if your customer wants to replicate this platform in a different hardware,
Mhm.
they will take a downtime of at least 1 month.
Right.
For see, you must be having at least 10 plus pipelines on Jenkins.
Right.
Now let's assume that the hardware on which that Jenkins is running has crashed or it has to change.
Mhm.
All those pipelines have to be replicated into another environment.
Mhm.
That is not going to be very easy unless you have the maintainers or support staff in doing
Mhm.
that. Okay, so when we move to AWS, or who is maintaining the environment? Platform is maintaining the environment. So as a customer or something, you first of all, there is no need for you to open source your things. I mean, you don't need any consulting team and operations team to maintain that, because cloud provider is already doing it for you. So if you have an operations team in Jenkins of 10 people, in AWS DevOps, you can manage with 1 or 2 people. So that is the advantage AWS DevOps is giving, because in AWS DevOps, you don't actually need to maintain some server in order to maintain the continuous integration pipelines, because AWS DevOps is completely serverless. Okay. So this is taking away your entire effort in setting up the pipeline from scratch. You don't need to create a server for building phase. You need to create a server for testing phase. You need to create a server for deployment phase, then monitoring phase. Nothing. Everything is automatically embedded onto AWS DevOps platform. Okay. So that is the reason why most of the customers, if their infrastructure is on cloud, they will always go for DevOps, because they would not need any other service-based company to maintain their applications. Okay. Or maybe even if they have, only at max 2 or 3 people would be billable on the same. They don't need around 10-15 people to be billable so as to maintain like Jenkins. Okay. So AWS is definitely more cost efficient than Jenkins, maintainable, readable, and reusable. Importantly, if you want to reuse an environment of AWS DevOps into build, staging, or UAT, just one click of a button is enough to do that. So that is the power of AWS DevOps systems. And the people who are working in AWS DevOps as AWS DevOps professionals would be so niche, and they're highly paid. You know why they are highly paid? Not because AWS DevOps is, is like rocket science, but you don't need more people, right? So because you're saving up a lot of costs. So if you have, see, what's an advantage, Harsha, of having, let's say, if you have a team, you are giving some task, you have 5 team members with you. Okay. You have 5 team members with you. So you will not have a problem completing the task, Harsha, because you know that any one of these 5 people, if they work also, it will happen. But now you have only 2 people. Okay. So are you getting my point, Harsha? You're on mute. Okay. You there?